Hey, folks wanting to fight the fascist takeover of America, the coup that Elon Musk is carrying out against us. There is a phrase, a concept that I want you to learn right now. It goes, give them the third best, because the second best comes too late and the best never comes at all. Essentially, do not let perfect be the enemy of good. Better to have a diamond with a flaw than a pebble with none at all. Do you understand what I'm saying here? I know that we on the left have a terrible propensity to be puritanical, to say that I can't work with you unless you align with me perfectly on every issue. You can never have a bad take. You can never disagree with me on a position. I know that cancel culture is not real, but right now some of y'all sound like, gosh, you know what? Let's cancel Winston Churchill because he is fighting the mustache man, but gosh, he has a lot of other bad takes and he's done some questionable shit. That is how some of y'all sound. This fallacious belief that we can't work with folks to fight a fascist takeover of the United States unless we are in perfect alignment, that we cannot partner with somebody who may have done problematic things in the past or somebody that is very human and very flawed and has therefore fucked up like all of us have. We cannot join forces with somebody where we may have a policy difference. We may have an ethical difference in one area. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I realize there is a time for nuanced discourse and like needing to discuss other weighty issues or sometimes very small issues. But it feels like right now, a bunch of the discourse I'm seeing online, I don't give a shit if we're talking about Ken Martin or Aaron Parnas, whoever, pick your favorite creator, whatever, if they've had some bad take somewhere. Like, I criticized Lady Gaga for her take on Palestine. If she's standing up and saying what this administration is doing to trans folks is not okay, it's a human rights violation, then I'm like, yes, please use your platform and do that. Speak out. If my senator, Ron Wyden, voted for the original TikTok ban, has taken money from special interests because what politicians haven't, the special interests and lobbyists that like I have a problem with, I'm going to set those differences aside, put a pin in them, because guess what? He has been incredibly outspoken in trying to stop the fascist takeover of America. He and Elizabeth Warren have been vigorously opposing Elon Musk's access to the Treasury. We can pick up these other issues later, but if we don't stop the coup that is happening, there will never be a chance to discuss these issues again. There will never be a chance for us to have our nuanced political discourse. This is not the time to let perfect be the enemy of good. We need to be taking the third best candidate because they are showing up and they are fighting for our democracy. The perfect candidate is never going to emerge. And I realize how many folks got hoodwinked in the last election saying, I can't vote for Kamala because she doesn't perfectly align with all my politics on every issue. While a bunch of the rest of us on the left were like, hey, she's a great harm reduction candidate. Even though we may not like all of her politics, we may have serious concerns about some of them. We are grown-ups functioning in the real world, and we realize a perfect candidate that aligns with all of the values on the left is not going to be put forward in this election. We need to work with what we have and live in reality, not a fantasy land in our heads. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm scolding y'all. I'm sorry that I've got my mom voice on, but like, please, I am begging you. This shit has got to stop now. We will come back to all of these other issues when we crush the fascist coup that is trying to take over America. Like, get your priorities straight, y'all. Get your priorities straight. If you are only willing to partner with someone who has perfect politics that exactly match yours, if you are waiting to partner with people who have never had a bad take, have never done a bad thing in their life, are completely unproblematic and have perfectly arrived, you're going to be in a room by yourself. Likely an El Salvadoran prison cell after you've been sent there by Marco Rubio for opposing the fascist takeover of the United States. Stop letting perfect be the enemy of good. We have got to work together as a nation. I don't give a shit right now if someone voted for Donald Trump and they're like, oh, that was bad. I realize now that I was foolish. Cool. It's not too late to join the party. It's not too late to get your head in the game and realize you have done wrong and work to fix it. It does not matter if I am a post-capitalist and Ken Martin is a neoliberal. We are both committed to stopping the coup that is happening in the US. Then, dude, I'm shaking hands. Let's work together. Please, let's keep our eyes on the prize. We can put a pin in all of these other things and deal with them later. But if we do not stop what is happening now, we will never get a chance. We will never get a chance to fight for justice in all of these other areas. We know that in so many ways, this is a numbers game, and there are hundreds of millions of us who oppose what is going on. I guarantee you there is a huge diversity within those hundreds of millions. We are all diamonds with flaws. The reality is we are not going to agree on most things, but we have got to come together and coalesce around the fact that we do agree on one thing, one crucial thing. That is that Donald Trump and Elon Musk cannot be allowed to turn this country into a fascist dictatorship. And we must stop the coup that is currently underway. We must protect our democracy. Because without it, we will never get to work through these other issues. So whatever you have over here that you're passionate about, really passionate about, and that's a good thing, please see aligning with people that are different than you right now. Please understand that the pathway to get us to a place where we can debate these issues, we can hash them out, you can fight for the things you believe in over here, requires us dealing with the imminent threat. All of us walking this path together. Got to get our heads in the game and stop letting perfect be the enemy of good.